Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys, and holding these guys to a standard, man. It's all about standing up. You guys know the deal, man. And in this video, I want to talk about how the MVP winners over the last 5 or 10 seasons, they don't really compare to the MVP winners of past eras, guys. It's not the same. And you've heard me say this before. Some of these guys that are winning MVP trophies over the last 10 seasons, they would not be winning MVPs in any other era, guys. And the MVP winners from the other eras were there every night, guys. These guys were in the lineup every single night. They were MVPs. So they were there competing every night. Now, the MVPs, not so much, guys. And we're going to talk about in this video how the MVPs of today are not really on the same level of the MVPs in the past, guys. And how these guys today miss a lot of games, but are still labeled as MVP players, guys. We're going to break it down in this video. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, you know I am truly, truly humble. Much respect to all you guys out there, man. Thank you very much. Shout out to everybody in the membership. Anyone that's donated to my channel, comment on my videos, liked my videos. Thank you very much, guys. It truly, truly is humbling. Thank you. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, if you haven't noticed, I posted some things today, some polls for you guys to vote on as far as the MVPs, right? And I asked you guys, who was the last MVP player to play all 82 games? When was the last time the MVP played 80 games, right? When was the last time that three consecutive MVPs played all 82 games? I asked you guys some of these questions. And from the last time that I checked, you guys have been answering, correctly more often than wrong. So much respect to all you guys out there. And the reason why I was putting those polls out there is for the purposes of this video right now. Is to try to highlight and show you guys that the MVP winners over the last 5-10 seasons are not on the level of the MVP winners from previous eras, guys. Going all the way back to the beginning of the NBA. It's just not the same. So I looked into some of these numbers, just as far as games played, as far as guys showing up to work. Because remember, that's one of the biggest problems in the NBA right now. How competitive can your league be when your MVP caliber players, right, the best players, this is what we're always talking about, the top guys are never there. They're always out of the lineup. They're missing random games. And once again, I have no problem with guys being out if they're injured. We get all of that. Sports is hard on the body. Guys get injured. No one's saying anything about the injuries. But a lot of these guys are not injured. As a matter of fact, most of these guys are not injured. They're just out of games. So you might think, oh, what's the big deal if a guy misses 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games? You guys may think it's a big deal because you're not a true fan of basketball. But extrapolate that over these guys' careers. And next thing you know, if they're missing 7, 8, 9, 10 games a season over the course of 10, 15 seasons, all of a sudden now, these guys have missed over 100 games for nothing. For nothing. They're missing games for no reason, guys. For no reason. Just missing games to miss games. Just to rest. Or there's illness. Or they're sore. Or they got a mental problem. They need a break. Blah, 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 blah. 2 games in back-to-backs. They can't play 3 games in 4 nights. And this is why I'm always highlighting you guys. I am not comparing the players of today with the players of the past, guys. The top guys. It's not comparable. These guys are not worthy to be in that conversation, man. And when you talk about the MVPs, guys, and we look at the games played versus the games missed, and you go back in NBA's history and you look at some of this stuff, guys, it's glaring. It's a glaring difference between the guys in the past and how many times they showed up to work, how often they showed up to work. The top guys, the MVP winners, these guys were always in the lineup, guys. So I wrote down some of these numbers. So like I told you guys earlier, the last time an NBA MVP played all 82 games. 82 games. I'm not talking about that week shortened season that they had during COVID when they played, 73. Some teams played 73 games. Some teams played 75 games. And then the next season in 2021, they had a shortened 72 game season, man. Ain't no one talking about that nonsense, man. We talking about playing 82 games. The last person to do that was Kobe Bryant. Of course it was Kobe Bryant. Of course it was Kobe Bryant, the last person to play all 82 games while winning an MVP, man. Not Kevin Durant, not Russell Westbrook, not James Harden, not Steph Curry, not LeBron James, not Nikola Jokic, not Giannis, not Joel Embiid. None of these guys won an MVP playing all 82 games. It was actually Kobe Bryant was the last player to do that. Before him, I think it might have been either Kevin Garnett or Tim Duncan, I can't remember. I think it was Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan were the next guys to play all 82 games and win an MVP in the same season, guys. So right there, that highlights to you that the last person was Kobe Bryant. Guys, Kobe Bryant last MVP was in the 2009 season, I believe, 2008, 2009 season, if I remember correctly. And when we think about that, that's pretty long ago, guys. That's over 15 seasons ago. He was the last MVP to play all 82 games. I mean, right there, that shows you guys, it's not the same. But if we take it a step further, guys, right, and we look at all the players in the past that have been showing up to work, the MVP guys, playing all 82 games, guys, it's insane. So like I said, I wrote some of this stuff down, just like I said, for the posterity of this video, man, for the historical records. Now, I broke this up between players that won multiple MVPs, right? So let's think about Nikola Jokic, right? He's the three-time MVP winner of this era, right? He's got the most MVPs over the last 5 seasons. So he's got 3 MVPs. And in those 3 MVP seasons, he's missed 11 games in those MVP seasons. Not bad, right? 11 games missed in 3 MVP seasons. But once again, one of those MVP seasons was the 2021 season when they only played 72 games due to the COVID shortened season, right? So he didn't have to play all 82 games in that season. As a matter of fact, Nikola Jokic has never played all 82 games in a season that he won the MVP. So he's missed 11 games in those 3 MVP seasons, man. So if we compare this to other great players, right, who have won 3 MVPs, let's think about this. Moses Malone won 3 MVPs. You know how many games Moses Malone missed in his 3 MVP seasons, guys? He missed 5. 5 games. So Nikola Jokic missed more games in one of his MVP seasons than Moses Malone missed in all 3 of his MVP seasons, guys. He missed 5 games in 3 seasons. 3 MVP seasons with a total of 5 missed games. Once again, let's also understand Moses Malone was playing in a much more physical, a much more defensive, a much more tougher league than a lot of these guys are playing in today, right? Than Nikola Jokic is playing in today. And he only missed 5 games. So shout out to Moses Malone, highlighting and proving these guys show up to work. They didn't miss games just to miss games. They were out there battling, once again, in a much more physical, defensive, and a tougher era. These guys could have came with all kinds of excuses to miss games. Moses Malone was there. How about Larry Bird? How many games has Larry Bird missed? People talk about Larry Bird all the time. Oh, Larry Bird was always hurt. Larry Bird had these injuries. But I always tell you guys, Larry Bird had the heart and the grit that these guys can't touch. A lot of these guys today can't sniff the grit of Larry Bird, man. And it's proof in the 3 MVP seasons. Remember, he won 3 MVPs consecutively in a row, which is impressive as hell in that era, going against some of the all-time legends. He won 3 MVPs over guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, over guys like Magic Johnson, over guys like Dr. J, over guys like Moses Malone, over some of the all-time greats. Larry Bird's winning MVPs, over a young Michael Jordan. But Larry Bird in those 3 seasons, guys, you know how many games he missed in those 3 seasons, guys? How many games did Larry Bird miss in those 3 seasons? He missed 5 games. 5 games Larry Bird missed in those 3 MVP seasons, guys. Once again, you highlight that, you show that, and you compare it to Nikola Jokic missing 11 games in his MVP seasons. Once again, Larry Bird did not have a lockout or a COVID-shortened season and win an MVP playing 72 games. The man missed 5 games in 3 consecutive MVP seasons. 3 consecutive. 5 games. In that physical, tough era, battling every single season, dealing with those injuries. He didn't sit out games with rest or just to sit out games, load manage. He was out there every night, Larry Bird, battling, man, earning it. How about Dr. J? Now, Dr. J has won, I believe, 3 MVPs in the ABA and 1 NBA MVP. So he has a total of 4 MVPs. I count ABA. To me, the ABA is legit. I count the ABA. A lot of people like to knock guys like who play in the ABA. If it wasn't for the ABA, there would be no 3-point line. If it wasn't for the ABA, guys like Dr. J, there would be no NBA. It was Dr. J that saved the NBA, guys. Remember, it was the guys from the ABA, the way that they played the game with the flair, with the flash, the alley-oop dunks, the different color ball, the 3-point line. Guys like Dr. J, they saved the league, man. So the ABA is legit league, guys. Legit. So my man, Dr. J, this is insane. This dude, Dr. J, won 3 MVPs in the ABA and 1 MVP in the NBA. You know how many games Dr. J missed between those 4 different MVP seasons, between 2 different leagues? This man missed 0 games. Dr. J, just I tell you guys, Dr. J is easily a top 10 player. To me, easily a top 10 player. And to me, he's the 2nd greatest small forward in the history of the game, guys. Dr. J was like that. And for some reason, people underestimate him and think he's just some dunker. Dr. J was an overall, all-around player. Defense, rebounding, shot blocking, run the court, score, above the rim, under the rim. Dr. J could do it all on the court, man. And he was a true competitor, a true leader out there. rebound the best, everything. Dr. could do it, guys. This is why he inspired guys like Michael Jordan. But Dr. J missed no games. In 4 MVP seasons, the man missed 0 games. As a matter of fact, let's take it a step further. In the ABA, do you guys realize that they played 84 games in the ABA? 84 games. So in Dr. J's 3 MVP ABA seasons, he played all 84 games, guys. Not 82, 84 games. 84 games. He didn't miss any games, guys. None. Shout out to Dr. J. You guys don't know about the doctor. They be sleeping on Dr. J, man. Not me. I got the facts on Dr. J here for you. You guys know that. Dude missed 0 games in 4 MVP seasons, playing 84 games in those seasons. Insane, man. How about Magic Johnson? How many games did Magic Johnson miss in his 3 MVP seasons, right? Magic Johnson missed 10 games in his 3 MVP seasons. Not bad at all. So once again, he missed less games than Nikola Jokic did in his 3 MVP seasons. Once again, Magic Johnson playing in a much more tougher physical era. And Magic Johnson never played 82 games in a season, guys. Never once. But once again, Magic Johnson wasn't load managing, lollygagging, sitting out games for rest. Any games that Magic Johnson missed, it was legit, man. Remember, Magic Johnson had that bad, I think it was a knee injury in the 2nd season, if I remember correctly. So shout out to Magic Johnson, missed 10 games in 3 MVP seasons. How about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you want to see something crazy? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and this is why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the respect he does for his longevity, for his durability. 6 MVPs. We all know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has more MVPs than any other player in NBA's history, right? The most MVPs, and you got 6. In those 6 seasons, this man missed 2 games. 2 games in 6 MVP seasons. He missed 2 games. You have guys now missing more games in a month than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar missed in his 6 MVP seasons, guys. Insane. How many games has Zion Williamson missed in his career already? More games than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How many games has Kawhi Leonard missed in his career? More games than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2 games in 6 MVP seasons? Banging down low as a big man? Battling every night? Once again, in a much tougher era, when you didn't have all the advancements of medicine and nutrition, the schedule was a lot more condensed for those guys back in the day. Only missed 2 games, man. My goodness, guys. I didn't even realize that. That's insane to me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like I said, a big man battling, only missed 2 games, man. Dudes are tough. They don't make guys like that anymore. How about Wilt Chamberlain? Wilt Chamberlain has 4 MVPs. We all know that Wilt Chamberlain was tough as hell and was very durable. This man was like never coming out of games. This guy was playing 46, 47 minutes a night every single game. These guys never came out the games, man. They didn't rest. Wilt Chamberlain, 4 MVPs. He missed 4 games in 4 MVP seasons. Insane, guys. 4 games in 4 MVP seasons? That's like 1 game on average per season. Insane. Once again, Wilt Chamberlain's playing 40-some minutes a night, not missing any games. Not these guys today. These guys today playing 33 minutes, 34, 35 minutes a night, which is not bad. It ain't Wilt Chamberlain, though. What the man was doing out there on the court, the dude was just tough as nails. These guys were just tougher, man. They're more durable. They're just greater. Greater. You see what I'm saying here, guys? These guys, the MVPs were there. They showed up every night. How about Michael Jordan, guys? Right, we all know Michael Jordan got 5 MVPs. 5 MVPs, guys. You know how many games Michael Jordan missed in those 5 MVP seasons? He missed 2 games, guys. 2 games. So like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with his 6 MVPs only missing 2 games, Michael Jordan got 5 MVPs, only missed 2 games. And remember, in the second three-peat, Michael Jordan didn't miss any games. I told you he played in 304 consecutive games between the regular season and the postseason, guys. By far and away the most consecutive games played for anybody in NBA's history, guys, without missing a single game. These guys today, they're in and out of games every week. They can't play back-to-backs. They can't go a month without missing a game. A month. They literally just sat Donovan Mitchell down yesterday for rest because they were on a back-to-back, because he plays 30-some minutes the night before, and they say he's an MVP caliber player. No, he's not. He's not the same level of these guys. These MVPs are on another level, guys. Another level, and you see I'm highlighting this here. Now let's think. Now, I talked about Nikola Jokic. It's not to beat up on Nikola Jokic, but just to highlight something, because he's supposed to be one of the tough, durable guys of this era. No one really associates load managing with Nikola Jokic, and I did that video about it yesterday, but no one really associates that with him. But once again, he missed 11 games in the 3 MVP seasons. 11 games. More than any of the guys that I just read off. More than any of those guys. Bill Russell has 5 MVPs, and I believe he missed 12 games in those 5 MVP seasons. So in 5 MVP seasons, he missed just as many games, basically, as Nikola Jokic did in 3 MVP seasons. Once again, we take it a step further. Bill Russell playing in an era where the man's going through a civil rights movement. So when guys miss games today because they're stressed out or they need a rest, you think Bill Russell didn't need a rest from the racism or the civil rights movement that was going on when he was trying to play in the NBA? Having to deal with that nonsense? Was Bill Russell getting people thrown out of stands because they were saying racist remarks to him or talking trash to him? Bill Russell was traveling around to these games and couldn't even stay in certain hotels. Couldn't eat in certain restaurants. But the man was out there competing, not getting anywhere near the amount of money, but only missed 12 games in 5 MVP seasons, battling through injuries, playing in Chuck Taylor canvas Converse sneakers, man, on old beat-up floors where people are smoking cigars in the arenas. Imagine these guys having to do that. Imagine them having to play in smoke-filled arenas because people are smoking cigars. Imagine these guys having to travel on buses. Imagine these guys having to play in canvas sneakers. Imagine these guys having to deal with the kind of racism that Bill Russell was dealing with. The kind of hatred that he was dealing with. Insane, man. But the guy was a true competitor, a straight warrior, and he was out there. But let's take it a step further here, guys. Giannis has 2 MVPs. He's missed 20 games in those 2 MVP seasons. 20 games in 2 MVP seasons. Once again, Giannis is supposed to be one of the warriors of the NBA. But in his 2 MVP seasons, he's missed 20 games. More than anyone else I read off here. Way by far. And he only had 2 MVPs. You have guys on here like Kareem with 6 MVP seasons. He missed 2 games. This guy Giannis missed more games in one of his MVP seasons than Kareem did in 6. How about James Harden? He has 1 MVP. 1. And once again, what's exposed is this era. He won an MVP in this era. It's a laugh. But in his 1 MVP, he missed 10 games. So once again, when you think about James Harden had 1 MVP in his career, Dr. J won 4. The man was playing 84-game seasons. He didn't miss a single game in his 4 MVP seasons. Meanwhile, James Harden missed 10 games in his 1. Out there stat padding, flopping all over the court that season. Right? So once again, the averages that he put up that season were inflated because he missed 10 games. These guys, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying, guys? He missed more games in 1 MVP season than Michael Jordan did in 5, than Will Chamberlain did in 4, then Magic did the same amount of games as Magic in his 3 MVP seasons. He missed more games than Larry Bird in his 3 MVP seasons. And Larry Bird was always dealing with injuries. More games than Moses Malone did in his 3 MVP seasons. It's an absolute joke. How about Joel Embiid? He won MVP in the last 5 years. Another laughing stock. He missed 16 games in his 1 MVP season. They gave this man an MVP. Playing 66 games. 66 games. When this is supposed to be a bigger, stronger, faster era. When these guys are not dealing with the physicality of the guys in the past. Joel Embiid missed all those games in his 1 lone MVP season. Remember, he cried and moaned for that MVP, and they obliged. They gave it to him. Literally gave it to him. He didn't earn that or deserve that MVP. To me, Joel Embiid really deserved the MVP the year before. That he won it, I believe the year before would have been a legit year for him to win it. Not the year that he actually did win. But he missed all those games in his 1 MVP season. It's a laughing stock, guys, for you to think that these guys today are on the same level. We're talking about the top guys. Let's think about LeBron James now. LeBron James has 4 MVPs in his career. We get all that. And during his 4 MVPs, he missed 17 games. 17 games missed in his 4 MVP seasons. And let's not forget, one of his MVP years was a lockout-shortened year where they only played 66 games. But even that season, LeBron James couldn't play all 66 games. He missed 4 games that year. I believe he played 62 games in 2012. So even in a shortened season, LeBron James couldn't play all the games, man. It's a laughing stock. LeBron James is supposed to be this guy who's bigger, stronger, faster, works on his body, spends all this money on his body. He's an athletic freak. He's got the longevity, the durability. But the man never won an MVP playing all 82 games. He's missed 17 games in his 4 MVP seasons, more than Russell, more than Kareem, more than Jordan, more than Magic, more than Bird. Everyone on this list. I mean, it's an absolute joke, man. Moses Malone, Dr. J, for any of these guys to be compared to the greats of the past, when those guys were going out there giving the effort, putting it on the line every night, not ducking games, missing games for no reason, lollygagging on the fans. These guys were going there every single night, guys. Every night the MVPs were out there. And this is what I'm always telling you guys. When you were watching the game back in the day, you turned the TV on, you knew those guys were going to be there. These are all the big name stars, the greatest players in the history of the game. And these guys were there. They showed up. Once again, go look, guys, at the last time someone played 82 games was Kobe Bryant, MVP winner. It's an absolute joke. Look how many times the guys in the 90s, go look from 1990 to 1998. We won't count 99 because we know it was a lockout showing season. But if you go from 1990 to 1998, go look at how many games the MVP winners played in that era, guys. Go look. It's damn near, I want to say every season, maybe, I want to say I want to say maybe 90 and 93 were the only 2 seasons that the MVP winner didn't play 80 games, at least 80 games. I think Charles Barkley in 93, I want to say he played 76 games, if I remember. I think he was dealing with like an elbow injury or something like that season that he was battling through. And I think he played 76 games, if I remember correctly. And I believe in 1990, when Magic won, he played 79 games. But every other year, it was 80-plus games. Every other year, 80-plus games. I believe when Hakeem Olajuwon won, he won 80 games, had 80 games. I think when David Robinson won, I believe he played 81 games that season. We all know Michael Jordan, Karl Malone played 82 games. So these guys are playing 82 games, guys. It's just the way it goes. Oh, they're playing at least 80 games. And like I said, they're playing in a much more physical era. A much more physical era. So you would expect them to miss games, right? Guy takes an elbow to the chest, an elbow to the face, an elbow to whatever it is. You would expect them to miss games, right? A guy gets hit in the leg. Guy rolls his ankle. Guys are getting slammed down to the ground. Guys are getting clotheslined in midair. All this stuff. You would expect guys to miss games back then. But they didn't. They didn't consistently. They were there every night because they're battling through this stuff. You think those guys weren't sore? You think those guys weren't hurting, getting knocked on the ground every night? Yeah, they were hurting, man. You think those guys back in the 50s and the 60s weren't hurting? They didn't have any of the advantages of the guys today, but the guys today are not playing the games like the guys in the past, guys. Those are the facts. So we'll see what happens this year, who wins the MVP this season. But as you guys can see, I've highlighted this. The MVPs of the past were just on another level, guys. Dr. J didn't miss any games. Larry Bird only missed 5 games in 3 MVP seasons consecutively. Moses Malone missed 5 games. Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they only missed 2 games in 6 seasons for Kareem and 5 for Michael Jordan. I mean, guys, this is crazy stuff here, man. It really is. When you have guys like LeBron James missing 17 games, Giannis missing 20 games. I mean, James Harden missing 10 games. It's really crazy. And like I said, man, if you think about the people who won MVPs, you have guys like James Harden win MVP. He ain't win MVP in any other era. Russell Westbrook, I love Russell Westbrook. He ain't win MVP in any other era, guys. He's not. Once again, Joel Embiid won MVP, not win MVP in any other era, man. He's too soft, too frail. He ain't gonna be around for it. Right? So once again, these MVPs are weak. So Nikola Jokic has 3 MVPs in his weak era going against who? Who's his competition for MVP? Giannis? SGA? Luka Doncic? Joel Embiid? Come on, guys. It ain't the same as him going against Larry Bird or Michael Jordan every year, or Magic Johnson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Dr. J. Moses Malone, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. Like, you think that's the same? It ain't the same, guys. It ain't. And those are the facts, man. So as you guys can see, the MVPs in the past showed to work. They were there, guys, more often than not. These guys today, not so much. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.